Hey, how are you guys? We are live on YouTube as well as Instagram. We're just gonna do general Q&A, whatever you guys would like to talk about. Today's Thursday. Last live stream was Tuesday. We spoke about the what was it called? Assembly Bill 11179, which was the proposal for all New Yorkers to be uh, injected with vaccines if the health officials decided that herd immunity was not achieved, which basically means mandatory vaccinations. So it was a little bit weird how I've been trying to search like on Reddit, on forums, on it doesn't seem like too many people know about it. It seems like no one really knows about it, to be honest. But today we'll just do a general Q&A. If you guys want to talk about that, we can talk about that. How are you guys tonight? We'll see how the live stream goes. Just plugging away every day. Looking super handsome as always, Frank. Thank you. I guess it doesn't. I mean, it's kind of nice to. I guess it's kind of nice to know you're gonna be handsome even when you're like 60 years old. Yeah. I mean, I get. There's a lot more. There's a lot more good looking males in their older years than females, mainly because the modern diet is not conducive to high nutrition for pregnancy. So what happens is women get pregnant and they basically lose all their nutrients and then they don't really gain them back. Whereas men don't have the added stress of um, nutrition during pregnancy. If there's a mandatory vaccination, but there's not going to be a mandatory vaccination. Um, they're not going to pass a bill to mandate vaccinations in New York. The bill wouldn't pass. What we thought they were going to do was we thought they were going to make it so you have to basically get vaccinated to do anything, which is still very possible. All employers might require you get vaccinated. You might have to get vaccinated to travel, but there's going to be a very, very high percentage of people that don't want to get vaccinated. I think 20, 30, 40%, very high. I was reading an article that was actually 2 months old, something like Ohio campus will keep college students from their parents for one night or something. They're literally building COVID FEMA camps to put people in, and under the guise of a pandemic virus, they're able to basically have like these ridiculous, almost Nazi like. Well, they're not almost. They're literally Nazi communist policies. So it's questionable to see where they're going to try to take this over the next few years, but we have an idea of what their end goal is. I mean that does raise questions. What if they are actually going to try to pass? Um, there's no America, Frank. Talking about bills being passed is laughable at this point. Even if they do some crazy stuff and they pass, I mean, again, it's we've made assumptions about why they want people to leave New York. Whatever they did was intentional. You see these headlines for the new virus, the bird flu. There's all types of flus and shit. They do the swine flu. Wait, hold on. This bird flu. If there's bird flu, it might be 5G towers killing more birds. Bird flu, also called France confirms outbreak of highly pathogenic bird flu on duck farm. Bird flu nightmare on the verge of full return in South Korea. Japan's bird flu outbreak worsens with record cullings. Uh-oh. Government orders disinfection of poultry farms as bird flu outbreak worsens. Amid coronavirus, UK officials warn of bird flu risk. Get prepared. Uh-oh. This is what we thought was going to happen with the meat supply. They're gonna basically, whether it's fake or real, they're gonna basically take away meat with the bird flu. And I think chicken is the logical first step, because a lot of people still don't eat red meat, but they eat a lot of chicken. If this bird flu is what they're gonna do they're gonna do so, we know for sure We've spoken about what their end goal is, what they kind of want to do, what figuratively. There's a couple big components of this. One is taking away meat. So the way they're going to take away meat, to my understanding, is going to have to be with some type of pandemic style thing too. I mean, you would think that people would wake up and say, "Hold on, they used the pandemic to keep us inside. Now they're using a pandemic to take away meat." Well, with this, I just checked those bird flu articles, and it's in a couple countries, so this could very well be it. Um, my dad has told me since I was little that bird flu can take us all out. Yeah, I mean that's fear mongering. That's fear mongering bullshit that the government's pushed. The only reason birds would get sick is if they laced the conventional feed that all these farmers are using with the flu. And if all chicken is bad and they really make it so they have to slaughter poultry and they say don't eat chicken, it's gonna cause fucking chaos. It's gonna cause chaos, and then people aren't gonna be having chicken. They're gonna go buy other meat. It's gonna cause a lot of problems. Um, who knows what they're gonna who I mean, we don't know logistically how it's gonna go. Um, that one component is very likely them using a bird flu or some type of animal disease to basically wipe out the meat supply on a conventional scale. If people then resort to local farms and farmers, I believe that they can use the 5G towers that they've set up everywhere to make the farmers sick and target meat slaughtering plants. And there's not really enough infrastructure for small farmers right now, and enough slaughterhouses for small farmers to supply enough people with meat. But no, that is pretty scary. If that those bird flu articles in a few countries, we'll have to see where it goes. But based on how things are going, there's a lot of predictive programming, and they're really preparing people and showing people that they have full control of the food supply. Got to burn all the towers. No, people are too brainwashed. They'll sit in people will sit inside complacent until everything's been taken away from them, and they still won't care. You have to understand, it's all under the guise of it's for your own good. There's a pandemic. Everyone would die otherwise. No, you can't go inside. Most people lost their jobs. People hate each other. You can't even interact with people because you're wearing a mask and you can't see the person's face and you have no fucking clue what they're saying. They're gonna take away meat. They're gonna fry people with Wi-Fi. It's gonna be. I mean, they must be breaking some type of natural law, but who the fuck knows? Yeah, that the taking away of the meat supply is very concerning. How quickly they're going to do it is even more concerning. Obviously, it seems like the carnivore dieters have kept their mouth shut on it. The carnivore dieters aren't talking about them taking away the meat supply with some type of fake flu. Um, who knows what they're going to do? Klaus Schwab talks about wanting people to eat bugs and drink cockroach milk. Yeah, the video of from the World Economic Forum where they said you'll own nothing and you'll be happy is, and in that video it also said meat will be treated as a treat, like once a week. Just like when the pandemic happened and all the supermarkets were wiped empty. Uh, the carnivore dieters didn't really have much to say. You have to understand, these people that everyone else is supporting, they're not doing shit. They're sitting in their house with their hands up pretending to care. Yet when that happened, I was down at Frankie's Free Range Meat, basically shipping out all the rest of our meat to people. And this is the scary thing is people don't recognize the difference between someone like Frank Tufano and all of these other carnivores. If you look at reality, what are these people doing? They're sitting inside recording videos trying to sell you bullshit supplements and consultations. They're selling you dog shit. They're selling you dog shit meat, dog shit products, whatever. And when shit actually turns around and hits the fan, they didn't speak up. I don't really want to. Let's focus on. Let's see what's going on in the chat. Probably too many towers put up already to burn them all. I mean, all it takes is one person with a gallon of gasoline to burn down a tower. I bet you could burn down. You could. I mean, how many 5 grams towers are in the whole entire New York State? Even if it's a few thousand, you could take them all down very fast. If the general public actually, if the general public actually knew the truth and what was going on, these people would be overthrown overnight. There's too many people, too few in control. What's your quick question? What's your thought on Edward Snowden? You have to any person that you know about, any person that's remotely famous is 100% in on it, and they each have their own agenda. And I don't remember what Edward Snowden leaked. I mean I used to know. Someone could probably remind me what he actually leaked. I know he was a whistleblower for something, but what could have likely happened? There's a couple possibilities. Either it was completely staged, and the Edward Snowden stuff has been an act all along, or what happened was he actually did genuinely leak something, and then he got kind of recruited, and then he's going along with the agenda. Who knows? There's a lot of fake shit going on, but the point is, it's all fake shit. Choline is needed to prevent non-alcoholic fatty liver disease. They poisoned eggs with the flu vaccine and made to feed viruses. They banned cow brains by intentionally creating mad cow disease. They want us sick. And beef liver throws off the zinc to copper ratio. We're going to get invaded by China and no one's going to do shit, I promise you. Something. I mean, who knows? I'm just trying to take things day by day and see what happens. But I mean, it's hard to ignore uh, everyone basically. The amount of people that are on unemployment, the amount of people that have lost their jobs, the amount of small businesses that are closing, and no one seems to care. It's very ridiculous how a fake virus, a manufactured threat, the media has controlled everyone's lives to the point where everything's pretty much destroyed. The majority are sheep. When are we getting invaded next month? I mean, there seems to these Masonic assholes that jerk each other off in lodges. You guys are talking about when are we getting invaded next month? There's some fear mongering bullshit they spread every month to keep people in fear, and it usually has a Christian twist on it. Pray to God to save you. During 4th of July, they were saying, "Oh, Antifa's gonna come raid suburban neighborhoods." There's new shit these fucking Mason assholes spread on social media. Oh, we're gonna get it every week. It's something else. Every month, it's something else. Oh, you're gonna get invaded next month. Oh, this, oh that. I've started announcing that you'll need proof of vaccination in order to travel with certain airlines. Look, it's called the New World Order. I don't really know if there's somewhere you can escape to. I think there's going to be options for people regardless of where they are. I mean, I don't see how that's possible. Look, if something happens where there's gonna have to be some type of travel method that doesn't require vaccination. Otherwise, there's gonna be too many lawsuits. I think that would go against like freedom of human movement. If every airline suddenly said that, oh well, you need to have a vaccination passport, I think if you basically had no way to travel, I think it's illegal to stop someone from traveling. Well, right now at least, it's illegal to stop someone from traveling based on that. You can't say. I don't think you could say. I don't know. Someone probably knows the specifics, but legally speaking, they cannot stop. I don't think they can stop you from traveling. Uh, also noticed these news shows on YouTube barely talk about how people get sick from radio frequency. No, the reason other people won't talk about radio frequency radiation and Wi-Fi and EMF in general is because they could, but it's too close to the one of the most important secrets, which is that your actual physical thoughts are not just your thoughts; they're an actual thing. Like if you think about like that Russian girl that's gonna twist on your dick all night, like that's an actual thought. And the more you believe in that, the more likely it's going to happen. But in most cases, with most people, with how they've been raised their whole lives, there's too many factors. Like you could start thinking, okay, well, how many hot Russian girls are even there in New York? I'm too short to get the girl. I don't really care. I got other stuff to do. There's too many factors. But if you truly believed enough that that hot Russian girl is going to spin on your dick, it might actually happen. The point is that the radio frequency stuff, the electromagnetic fields, the magnetic fields, they inhibit your body's own energy ability to function as a human being. So if they started actually selling Wi-Fi EMF devices that worked, I'm actually like a head cover to protect you when you're on your phone or when you're in your car. I actually have a canopy that's not set up right now. Maybe I'll live stream one day in the canopy, which it might be hard because of the lighting. But if you're able to reduce the oxidative stress and basically, if you're out in the middle of a forest with no electric fields, you'll be able to think and focus and better. The healthier you are, the reason the elite want you blasted with Wi-Fi radiation and unhealthy is because it inhibits your ability to think. It inhibits your ability to think. Talking about EMF pisses people off and makes people think you're a Karen. It will make people think you're dumb and crazy. They don't get it. Well, just like a cell phone emits a frequency to talk to someone, your brain does the same thing. I don't sit and argue with people about whether EMF is real or not. My dad will deny it up and down. Yeah, one night just to show him, I put the microwave on in the kitchen, and no less than 15 seconds later, he came down awake. The radiation from the microwave physically woke him up. One time, my sister turned the microwave on. I was in a bed canopy. I was shielded too. I was in a somewhat of a Faraday cage. It wasn't completely shielded, but my sister turned the microwave on halfway across the house, and I woke up and went downstairs and saw the microwave on. So whether or not people believe about EMF or not, even if you convince them and show them 100% that it's a problem, they still won't believe you. So usually you can say, all right, well, you can try to get someone to experience a high Wi-Fi environment and then a low Wi-Fi environment, and then they can tell the difference, but most people don't care enough. I don't even know who Jay Alvarez is. Microwaves are very high levels of radiation. And they go pretty far too. I noticed in college I would have severe brain fog. I was like, what the fuck? Yeah, if the radiation levels are high enough, you're gonna lose thoughts. You're not gonna be able to think. Yeah, I mean, I have a meter right now. For some reason, why is the radiation going high? I bet you one of my parents have their phone on close to me. But usually the radiation in my room is pretty high, or it keeps fluctuating to moderate. For some reason, I think it's something from outside because there's nothing on in my house. Yeah, it's just not in New York. New York. Who knows what the radiation is with so many neighbors so close by and how far radio frequency can travel now. I sleep upstairs. How does the bed canopy cover below the bed? Usually, what you can do is you might have to shield the floor. I'm gonna get some cheaper fabric that people can buy to do that. Usually, you'd have to, because if no on Instagram I'm directly wired, so I shouldn't be on. Maybe it's still flashing the phone even though it's on airplane mode. Why are air fryers bad? I never did a video on air fryers. I've never tested an air fryer. Where did you get that meter? That's a Safe and Sound classic EMF meter. Yeah, so what you can do is if you have an EMF meter, you can set up the canopy and test the levels inside the canopy. That is a concern. If you're in an apartment or you're not on the ground floor, then there could be something below you that is coming into the canopy. So in that scenario, you can lay something on the floor on like a mat and then the canopy will connect with the mat and form a Faraday cage. Looks like they deleted Dollar Vigilante's channel. That guy, it's a Masonic shill setup. They don't delete channels like that. They just shadow ban you if you're real. If they do like a channel deletion thing, what they'll do is usually those people will have like a BitChute or something, or alternative stuff set up on another website and a giant email list, and they'll intentionally delete the channel. It's all a setup. All these deleted channels are setups, and that's if they really want to silence you, they just shadow ban your channel like me, and you get a few thousand views per video. And I haven't even spoken about like crazy stuff on my channel. I just basically, when I film, I just film. I mean, I literally just filmed empty streets in New York City for the hospital video, and they took the video down. I made a video saying Out of Shadows documentary is a CIA psyop. They took the video down. Is your bed canopy that is coming to Wi-Fi shielding easy to set up? So we already have it. You just hang it up and plug it in. I should probably do a video showing it. I don't know if I should show it in like as part of a video or a video on itself. They're deleting all channels that said the election was a fraud. They said they would yesterday. YouTube deleting election channels. YouTube removes 8,000 channels promoting false election claims. The platform says it will remove any content that claims widespread voter fraud or errors altered the outcome of the U.S. presidential race. I mean, I said shit like voting doesn't matter. I never widespread voter fraud or errors. YouTube platform says it will remove content. That's crazy. YouTube will now delete. They basically. I'm surprised they deleted the channel. Widespread misinformation. I mean, you don't have to claim vote. You don't have to you never want to really say things that you can't prove. Like, you could say things that are simple, like you could say simple things like Joe Biden got more voters than any other president in history. You don't have to talk about voter fraud. You don't have to talk about whatever. You could simply say, Joe Biden got more votes than any president in history. Do you genuinely believe that? Based on the pedophilia allegations, based on everything? It's very clear what happened, what's going on. How bad were you fried at MasterChef by the Wi-Fi? That's what started all my health issues. When I went out to MasterChef, I didn't sleep for a week on the show, and I thought my sleep would get back. I was looking forward to getting back home because I thought my sleep would get better, but it never got better. That was back in February of 2018. That's when my health basically got destroyed. Towards the end of 2017, I was starting to have sleeping problems from the iron overload. And then when I went out to MasterChef in early 2018, I started having it's from taking the Tylenol and the Advil out there to stop the pain. It got really bad. I remember on my birthday towards the end of 2017, I went out to a steakhouse and I had a giant steak. And that night I was having heart palpitations and I couldn't sleep. That was when the sleeping problem started. Yeah, I was getting cooked. I didn't sleep one night out there. Thoughts on blue light management for sleep? Not nearly as important as EMF Wi-Fi. I would say that blue light management and all these fucking clowns wearing like orange tinted glasses are fucking, and they don't speak about EMF. It's ridiculous. Drop my shaving routine. I mean, I just I just use like a regular I use a 6-bladed razor on my face and to go over once, and then I take a straight razor and just go against the grain on the rest to make it um, smooth. Didn't you also eat like a can of anchovies that gave you insomnia? That was on my birthday a different year. That was before I realized I was copper deficient with the histamine intolerance. Yeah, AirPods heavy. Oh man, I would love to get my hands on some devices like. I mean, I don't want to. I don't know if it's probably not a bad idea to buy them, like an air fryer or a set of AirPods, to just test the EMF levels and show people how bad they're frying their brains. But I was actually gonna do a parody video titled Apple sends warning that AirPods are dangerous or something. I was gonna pretend to be like a news reporter and like um literally make shit up like Apple recently published an article saying that your AirPods are dangerous and you should not use them. The levels of radiation from the AirPods are like putting your head in a microwave, stated Apple's current CEO, Mr. Dipshit Freemason. That's what I was going to do a video on. But it's kind of scary how, if you've noticed, in a lot of news broadcasts, these people are wearing AirPods. I think it's intentional. A lot of doctors, a lot of like, anytime they have a doctor on, or anytime they have someone on a news broadcast on a Zoom call, for some reason the people are wearing AirPods a lot. Canadian government gonna force us to take Pfizer's vaccines? It's ridiculous. They've been so gung ho with everything. Like, first of all, you've never proved the virus exists. Second of all, you've never proved the virus can be transmitted from person to person. Third of all, you've never proved the mask is effective. Fourth of all, the vaccine has never been proven to help prevent any sort of. The whole scenario is ridiculous. But the psychological warfare and manipulation and everything they've done has everyone convinced what they're saying is the absolute truth. Why aren't more radiologists or electricians aware of EMF? Probably because the ones smart enough that know it's dangerous are in secret societies and they're in on it. The more intelligent ones are. And then the people that know that it's dangerous that aren't in those secret societies are few and far between. And they usually just get silenced, like myself. Like, there's a bunch of fucking shill morons on my videos typing out these like 3-paragraph like YouTube essay comments like, I work as an electrical engineer, and Mr. Tefano, the 5G radiation is non-ionizing. There is no way, shape, or form it would be harmful to you as a human being. I mean, I've done all these types of personal experience myself, and I've worked as a professional in the field for over 15 years. And these people genuinely think whatever something they're gonna fucking say is gonna convince me that the reason they don't talk about EMF is because it's one of their biggest secrets. If there was one secret the elite and these other YouTube influencers didn't want you to know that are in the club, it's the Wi-Fi and the EMF stuff. And I'm assuming they have some type of drug that negates the effects of EMF, some type of calcium channel blocker. I've attempted to do things myself, but I don't really care. I haven't really cared enough to do that. I did a video titled "Why Non-Ionizing Radiation is Harmful," and when I was researching that, I discovered that that the way Wi-Fi damages your cells is through disruption of calcium channels. Now, there are medications that block calcium channels, and high doses of magnesium allegedly blocks calcium channels. So I don't know mechanistically in your body if you take some type of pharmaceutical drug that blocks calcium channels, or if you take a very, very large dose of magnesium or some type of cocktail of drugs, if you would be able to maintain your brain function in a high Wi-Fi EMF environment. I'm assuming the elite people have something they use that can protect them in those high Wi-Fi environments. Yeah, let's take vaccines from the guys that got half the nation hooked on opioids and antidepressants. It's a joke. If anyone actually thinks these people are trying to help them and are trying to promote their health, it's ridiculous. Everybody's saying stay home. What do you mean everybody? Like, are your friends and family and other people believe it too? If shit gets really bad with artificial famines, it's scary. I mean, that I'm actually curious to see if that bird flu is them gonna actually take away chicken. Any products to carry on your persons to remediate EMF. You to keep your phone on airplane mode, and I always wear a protective T-shirt and underwear all day, every day, 24/7. I never take the protective clothing off. I've tried high doses of magnesium and didn't notice much of a difference. I tried very high magnesium too for EMF reduction. It didn't seem to do anything. Very, very bad idea to eat a lot of calcium right now because of 5 grams towers. They block calcium absorption and can cause a heart attack. That's not actually how it works. That's not how it works. Okay, you just said that 5G towers block calcium absorption and cause a heart attack. That's not the mechanism. The mechanism is that high Wi-Fi radiation flushes calcium into, it increases extracellular calcium. It increases the calcium in the nucleus of the cell drastically. It drastically increases the amount of calcium. Let me just look that up. Let me just look that up real quick because I have a bad memory, even though I did a whole video explaining it. Maybe I have a bad memory because these fucking magnetic field levels in my house are so high and I need to move. Alright, well, it's a little lower now than it was earlier. What time is it? I'm keeping a record so I can sue Con Edison for blasting. This is something I should have done a while ago. So average reading of 200 nanoteslas at 8:50 at around 8. So 12:10 at 8:50 p.m. It was 200 nanoteslas, which is for 2 milligauss. What was I saying? Let's look up Wi-Fi radiation. I think it was intracellular calcium. Let's just Google Wi-Fi radiation, intracellular calcium. Yeah, so this is what it says. I'm about to sneeze. One thing to be clarified here, however, is in the 2 studies on calcium overload following Wi-Fi exposure, such overload was measured a substantial time period following exposure. Overload was shown to be caused to a substantial effect increased TRPV1 receptor activity. The TRPV1 receptor is known to be activated by oxidative stress. It is, in my view, discussed in detail below. There is a central mechanism that acts to produce excessive intracellular calcium immediately following EMF exposure, and that the oxidative stress activation is secondary. So there is a mechanism on. There's definitely a mechanism involved with Wi-Fi, especially the 5 grams, that's causing heart attacks, strokes, and those cardiac events. It could be mobilizing a lot of stored calcium in the body. You'd be dead already if you were in a high radiation environment. Yeah, but if you smoked 1,000 cigarettes in one day, you're not just gonna drop dead. You know, if you have to smoke, you have to smoke for years and years and years and years to get sick. So there's levels of radiation that make people sick. There's levels of radiation that kill people. The mRNA vaccine is crazy. I ordered from Wi-Fi Shielding last Sunday, and it's not coming until Monday. Why so long? I mean, first of all, you guys are used to Amazon shipping, which is a problem for small businesses. That's a problem number one. Even if a small business, literally, even if I, as a small business, went like as soon as I saw your order on my computer, if I went downstairs and filled it and drove to the post office, Amazon's still going to get to it to get to you faster because of the connections they have with the shipping companies. I tried to get most of the Wi-Fi shielding orders out on Wednesday. The tailor has to finish some of the canopies and more large shirts, so the next round of Wi-Fi shielding orders are going to go out on next Wednesday. So some people are going to be waiting 4 or 5 days until they ship now, but most of the orders were shipped on Wednesday. I went to Best Buy where like 25G phones were on, and holy shit, I felt awful. Yeah, I can't understand how people are okay working in that environment and how they don't get really, really sick. Yeah, I can't see how they're gonna increase the Wi-Fi environment and 5G stuff further than now without people getting incredibly sick. Why is someone posting the same comments on my Instagram live stream and my YouTube live stream? You'd be dead already if you were in a high radiation environment. Well, yeah, well, we're not in Chernobyl, but as I said, it's enough radiation to keep you sick consistently. And different radiation frequencies have different effects. Different types of radiation do different things and cause different symptoms. I don't know why my Instagram live streams always go down to like, they go from like 40 viewers to 5 viewers for some reason. It's, I'm gonna probably, what time is it? 8:50. I want to get to bed soon, so we'll go for maybe 5 or 10 more minutes on the live stream, guys, if you have any more questions. I just want to eat something and go to bed so I can wake up early, film my video for tomorrow, and then I gotta go somewhere. Where did you get that meter? There's different types of Wi-Fi meters that measure different types of radiation. Would you make a homemade tanning bed? I still haven't looked into that. I said I wanted to buy, I still haven't figured that out yet. I've been trying to look into bulbs and how to do that. I'm not an electrical engineer though. I might call up some companies and see if I can get like a used product. I know there's a dermatologists. They have these very they charge for like this procedure where they basically blast people with UVB rays for like a minute, and they charge like $200 for the copay or some shit. And so I know there's bulbs that dermatologists use for that like psoriasis treatment stuff. And then I've also seen companies selling like tanning, like sun therapy devices. So I got to figure out what bulbs emit the UVB rays and how to get them and set them up so that I can have like a UVB tanning bed. What do you know about Agenda 2030? I've heard about. I've done a couple videos talking about, briefly touching on like the New World Order, the Great Reset, that type of stuff. I have another script written up to go into detail about the 2030 agenda for sustainable development. It's basically 2030 agenda for sustainable development, from meat to climate change to COVID pandemic, is basically the government making up lies to convince people that communism and socialism is good for them. That's basically it. Everything said to you is a lie to get you to think a certain way and do certain things. If you only had UVB rays, wouldn't it just be for vitamin D and not for tanning? Both UVB and UVA rays can change the color of your skin. It's different though. 5 grams is quite a broad spectrum. You know, people. It's funny. People were saying that you can't measure 5 grams waves with modern EMF meters, but on the highway, when I used to take my EMF meter on the highway, levels were usually low most of the time. Now they're always high. Any hope for organ supplements? Yeah, it's been horrible. we've been out of stock for I think 6 months now, which is a nightmare. Those fucking assholes at those companies really fucked me over. Gridiron Nutrition and Capsule Supplies. Those two assholes. Hopefully we get the product soon though. You know, even if it's even if we're 6 months delayed for organ supplements, even if we're a year delayed, you know, I'm gonna have products that no one else is offering, and it's a long-term thing. I mean, yeah, I might be out thousands and thousands of dollars that I could have used to go towards my farm, but hey, that's how things go. Are all of your sex toys organic? I've never owned a sex toy, and I don't own any sex toys. I did a whole video on that. You could go watch the video back on that. It was titled Scammed by Gridiron Nutrition and Capsule Supplies. Yeah, that's how you get banned on my channel, you fucking Mason prick. What happened with the lawsuit? I mean, lawsuits usually take time. I'm gonna do a video on it tomorrow because someone published there's a newspaper that published an article about the lawsuit actually. So I'll talk about that tomorrow. Basically those companies promised me that they would produce the product and do another product run, and they jerked me around for 2 months, and after 2 months I was like, what the fuck's going on? Why aren't you guys making the products? I paid the guy $10,000 to make my vitamin supplements, and he basically was waiting for me to send him the other $50,000 to make the other supplements, when I was in reality I was like, all right, wait, it's been 2 months, where are my vitamins? Oh, I was just wondering if you're gonna do the other stuff. Like, what the fuck are you doing? Just a nightmare. And the reason I made the video about those fucking assholes is because that guy sent me like $30 worth of samples, and he charged me $300 because he couldn't be inconvenienced to send me samples of the product that I was gonna spend $100,000. I'm like, dude, those guys can go fuck themselves. I don't know how any these people have just must have just been scamming people their whole business lives. Your Callan clay organic? You can't clay. I don't think you get. I don't think clay can be certified organic. How can you afford that much? It's the money from the money that I used to start the supplement company was basically the money that I saved up from my past bartending jobs and my jobs. I've never really made a lot of money from. I've never really made a lot of money from YouTube or anything online. You know, Frankie's Naturals has never done that well, but you know, if you make $100 a week for 2 years, it adds up. Um, you know, it's just saving money, living with my parents, not really spending money on stuff besides food. I've been able to save up money to do business stuff. What's your best for surviving whatever comes? They just want to keep people in fear and scared shitless, so people stay in a fearful mindset. But in reality, is they're parasites. They need a host to live off of. So by keeping people in fear, they keep control. I mean, the chat's a little slow tonight, guys, so we'll just wrap this up in a minute. You don't know if I just need to. Any dangers from LED light strips or other tests? There's an electrical field concern from the physical light and the power strips when you're really close, and then there's the concern of the blue light actually interfering with your your like melatonin signaling and that type of stuff. I don't really eat. I don't really eat the bread. I don't really eat bread that much. I'd probably eat it if I enjoyed it more. Whole wheat bread doesn't usually taste that good. What about LED headlights? Those definitely aren't good. If someone has LED headlights driving on the other side of the road, you can't even fucking see. I think I'll try to do another diet update video this week, day of eating. So guys, I'm kind of tired now, probably because I got out of my canopy. I'm getting fried now, so I'm a little tired. So I'll wrap this up. I'll see you guys for next live stream. Maybe we'll